Hello everyone, this is Betsy from Ideas Times 2. Today I have a tutorial for you which will be coming along in about 2 minutes. But this is sort of an afterthought, but I wanted to show you a couple things I put in the shop. These are little TNs. They are 3 3/4 about by 5 1/4, and they're pretty chunky, so it's about an inch and a quarter spine. So typical TNs, we've got inserts held in with elastics. Each one has a removable dangle charm, and this one has a peaches theme. So each one has 4 inserts, and they're lined paper. And so there's a calendar in each one of these. There's lots of pockets with ephemera. Each insert has a pocket on the front and in the back. And there is also a dashboard, so it's laminated. It has a pocket and also a pen attached. This one has sticky notes. And it also has an ephemera folder in it. So, and decorated paper clips. So just fun little chunky things. So this one is old stock. So the fabric, so the cover is made out of fabric, and it's all layered up, so it's a nice stiff, firm cover. It's still, you know, flexible, but it's firm, and so it's just perfect for planning or making notes. Just a good take-along type thing. This one has a donut theme, so there's lots of sprinkles, paper and everything. They're all kind of themed. This one I didn't have any sunflowers that would match this fabric, but it's a mint and yellow theme, so lots of pretty papers in there. This one has a poppy theme. And this one is more of a junk journal style. So let me just very, very quickly, using lots of Tim Holtz papers and different things like that. So lots of fun, lots of fun. I love these. Kind of tempted to keep one. Anyway, so those are in our shop right now. So go take a look if you'd like. And then coming right up is the tutorial on how to make a journal cover out of a waxed paper bag. Okay, stay tuned. Hello everyone, this is Betsy from Ideas Times 2, and today I have a tutorial for you. So I know I've done paper bag journals before, but this is a little bit of a twist on that. So it is made out of a paper bag, and it's a see-through bag, so you can see my decorative papers underneath. See that? So I thought it would be fun, and it's nice and wrinkly and soft. So what it is, it's a bag that I've gotten donuts before. Yes, one time or two I've gotten donuts, and they come in this wax bag, kind of like Glassine, I guess. I'm sure it's technically not the same, but it's so it's a see-through bag. And I thought, man, what a fun little journal this would be. So after experimenting a little bit yesterday, I came up with this little journal. So you can make it out of any bag. So I am making it. I'll put a couple links down below of a Chick-fil-A bag that I used. I think Cindy has a tutorial on a paper bag, a flat paper bag journal. So I'll put a couple links down below of other paper bag journals we've done. And but for today, I thought this would be interesting, a little twist. And so it is a gusseted. I'll show you here. So it's a gusseted bag. This particular bag is a size 6, which is 11 inches high, 6 inches wide, and the gusset is 3 3/4, a little bit, so 3 5/8 probably inches deep. Okay, so this is the type of bag we're using, and then the resulting journal is it's 4 1/4 by 6, and then the spine is about 3/4 of an inch. So on this particular one, I will talk about this later too, but I did decide to do eyelets in there. I don't think you have to. I think you could sew directly into the paper bag and all the reinforcements that are going to be on there. But I did put eyelets on this one, so that is how I have the signatures in, and I just have a sari silk tie on this. So pretty fun. I'm going to show you how I got this look. So I am going to use totally different papers today, but you can see, let me show you. So I had some papers. I think these are from My Porch Prints. And this is sort of what they looked like, just kind of muted blues. And this one's a little brighter. I used the more muted ones throughout the whole journal. And so anyway, very pretty papers, but today we're going to do something a little bit different. So I can imagine this in like a grunge, like a super grunge. You could use just like a collaged paper like this and make it in a super grungy one. You could make your own a grunged up, you know, with inks and sprays and different treatments on the cover, collage work, and then put it inside. I think that would look super cool, and then you could really grunge up the edges. I think that would be so pretty. But today we're going to actually do something different. So I decided, I thought maybe what would be fun, because I had this paper laying out. Oops, now I have to figure out which papers. Here they are. So I thought it would be fun to do a red, white, and black journal. And this has a lot of contrast, so it'll be very fun to, it will look great to have that high contrast underneath this glassine. So I thought that would be cool, and I'd like to add pops of red to it, or maybe turquoise even. I don't even know. But so that's the paper. Those are the papers I'm going to use. So a little bit about the papers. On this one, I used just plain paper. One sheet of paper on the front, one sheet of paper on the inside of the journal, and then to stiffen it, I used cardstock. So that's 3 sheets of paper, 2 regular, like copy paper type weight, and then 1 cardstock just to stiffen up the cover just a little bit. Now, today I'm going to use these, and these are both cardstock, so I won't need any additional support inside. I think these will be perfect. So whatever you use, you can layer it up as you need to, but I think 2 layers of cardstock is going to be plenty. All right, so that's a little bit about the paper, but I did discover, so here, you know what I really should do is open this up so you can kind of see what it is. So inside I have a pocket here, and then I made a tuck spot over here using portions of the bag. And then it has, let's see, it has 88 pages. That includes fronts and backs. And I have it decorated up a little bit, but not too much. Just a little bit here and there. And I put some envelopes and different junk journal style papers in there, and just like patterned papers as well. So far, I will be decorating it up just a little bit more, but I think it's pretty much done. So what I wanted to show you on here is that I used the bag as is, and I'll show you what I mean by that. And so the seam happens to be on the outside. So I don't think it's real offensive or anything, but I kind of want to do this second one differently so that that seam is on the inside of the book instead of on the outside. But you can see it pretty well there. So I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so this is how the bag comes after it's, it's got its donuts in it, and then I clean it out. You know what? I think next time I'm going to try to be brave, and I'm going to say, hey, you can just give me the bag and hand me the donut in a napkin, and that way I want it to clean out the bag. I mean, that shouldn't take too much bravery, should it? I don't know. So here's how it comes after you clean it out, flatten it. So then if I just wrapped the journal like this, my seam is going to be on the outside. So super easy. Flip it over, flatten this bottom part, bottom boxed sort of part out, and give it a nice press like that. And now that seam will be on the inside, and it will look like this. And I don't think, well, we'll see. We'll see how these little words come into play. I'm not sure how that's going to work. All right, so we'll need to cut 2 pieces of paper. One for the front, and the reason why it's 2 is because there's this little, you know, gusset part that is going to leave some places where if you just put one double-sided piece of paper, it's going to interfere with the look of the paper, these little gussets. And so I was thinking that perfect would be 2 sheets of paper, so that's what I had been going with, and I think it turned out just fine. So I'm going to put this darker one on the inside of the book. So it's going to look like that, and then I'm just going to cut it. So I just made a little mark with my thumbnail, and I cut it the right size. So that is another thing I should stress, is that you don't really need to measure. Just, you know, hold your paper up to the bag and put a little pencil mark or a little indentation with your fingernail or something. You don't need to measure. And, you know, and your bag might be different than mine too, so I hate to give you measurements. Keep those scraps because they do come in handy. Okay, so now we'll see if it fits. And my bag does have a few rips at the very top, but that is all going to be covered up. Okay, so there's the inside of the bag. It's only going to go down this far because of this fold right here. So it's only going to go that far, but that's okay because we're going to decorate this part separately. Okay, so then depending on, like, this is multi-directional paper, so I'm just going to flip it over this way and see how cool. If this double-sided paper, that would look cool, but those, you know, those gussets do interfere. So here's my front. This is going to be a longer piece because there's no folds down here to interfere. So if I can get it in. There we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna also just do it this way, where I'm gonna nick it with my fingernail and then cut. All right, we're gonna insert those. Multi-directional paper again, so I don't need to worry which way I'm going here. But this is going to be the left side of the book. If this is the inside, and this is the left and the right. Okay. So then we are going to take care of this part here. So this is actually the pocket here. And let me take these tags out. So what next, we're going to decorate this back part, and I'm just using paper, and then actually we're not going to decorate that, but we're going to cut first and then decorate, and then I'll show you what the next step is. All right, so I cut about halfway up to make a deep pocket. So this is, you know, a little tricky, but it's not too bad. And you can definitely use a pencil and a ruler if you want to, or you can just wing it, especially if you're really good at straight lines. I think I'm going to use a ruler. And that one's not quite big enough. We'll use this. I am a quilter, so I do have lots of nice rulers, especially, you know, acrylic rulers where you can square things up very easily. Okay, so I'm just trying to make sure this is squared up. This looks like a pretty good line, so I'm just going to draw a line there like that. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to cut just the top layer of the bag. So you might need to, you know, hold it up a little bit from the back side, but just go ahead and cut that top layer. And try to leave the back layer intact. So I just got the tip of my scissors, and we're just going to cut this all the way. All right. Okay. All right. So now we've got the bottom. So this is going to show you here. So this is an inside paper, right? And then this is the rest of the bag. And the next parts are not going to matter what we do here. So I just wanted to let you know this is the way it would be normal, and it would look just the way we want it to. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is decorate and reinforce this top part and then the inside of the pocket. So all I'm going to do is tear a piece of paper. I'm trying to stick to black and whites. And on the other journal, I did ink the edges just a tiny bit. I wanted to keep a lot of the white intact, but I did do that. And so also I'm going to do that here. And it's not like a super grunge on this one either. I think I will make a super grunge one. I think that'd be really cute. But for now, it's just touches of ink. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put glue on the back of this. And then just slip it down there like that. That will reinforce this pocket and hold some of that together back there too. It serves multi-purpose, and it decorates it up a little bit, so it's all good. And I was just totally using scraps on this, so you can see I actually used 2 strips of paper there, and I think that's perfectly fine too. You can collage it, make it look a little collagey. And I am gluing all the way down on this. You could stitch around this before you glue it down as well. Okay. So I'm trying to cover up those words a little bit, although you know what, it doesn't really look that bad. It looks kind of cool. So I covered that up, and I think that looks great. So the next thing is to, another thing I should point out too is that I did stitch around the edges on this, so I will be doing that too once I get this pocket intact, and then I'll show you how to fold this up. So that will be coming. Alright, so I do have a few more papers that were sort of black and white-ish. I'll bring some of those in. This paper would also be cute, like if you inked some of the flowers red, or you know, turquoise or green or whatever you would want. Just, you know, just a few of them, or put some like ink blotches on this paper. I think that would be cute. I might wind up doing that. Okay, so I did this in 2 steps. This pocket, I put another piece of paper down here, glued it on, and then folded it over the top edge. So that's what I'm going to do here. Once again, I'm not being real precise. I'm just going to sort of tear this up. That went a little haywire on me, but we'll see. But I'm going to bring you along with me so you can see what I mean. So I'm going to want the pattern to show on the top. So that's what I'm going to be doing, except I'm going to do another piece of paper because that, it's not, I didn't get it quite big enough. So what I want is the paper to come right in back of this pocket and then flip over the edge just a little bit to reinforce that top edge. Seemed to work the best. Like I could use this and then make sure my decorations come up but I think it's so crooked. Maybe I could do the crooked part down. Yeah, I'll just do the crooked part down, and then I'll fold this over like this. Okay, so that will be next. And I am using Fabri-Tac for this, which works really well with the waxy surface. Okay, so that was the back of the paper there, so that when I fold it over, I've got a little color there. But whatever you choose. Okay, so now that will help sturdy up our pocket so that we can slip things in and out, and it'll not wear that, you know, that fine edge. It won't wear it down. Okay. All right, so now a different piece of paper. Maybe I'll put this one. So now I'm just gonna just put sort of a collaged paper on here, so you could definitely hand collage it, but that's the other thing you could do, is wrap this around to the back. I just find it easier to wrap that around the front, plus it also makes it sturdy. The whole pocket sturdy, because you're putting a piece of paper in the back of the pocket too. So, all right, so good. Now to get those, knock off those white edges just a little bit. I'm gonna ink that up. And just glue that right down. And I am going to cover up those words just a little bit. And then now that pocket has 2 layers of paper and then the bag. So that's a nice sturdy pocket. And this back part has been reinforced as well. So that's perfect on that. Then we're going to work on this side. So I tried to utilize this, and the bag's not long enough for me to use this as a tuck spot. So we're just going to go ahead and glue that down, because it totally butts right up against the spine right here. So that's just a little too close to be tucking things in and out. So I just went ahead and glued this down. Let me get those edges inked a little bit. All right, so this side is ready to go. Now this side, my little tuck spot, let's measure that. My little tuck spot is 1 5/8 inch. So let's do that. So this, when you fold this over, all the papers are going to be sort of staggered. They're going to be at different, you know, distances from the fold, and the bag like this is going to be longer than this side just because you're folding. But it's not going to be a problem. It's not going to show. Here, I'm just going to mark this and then fold 1 5/8. What do I do here? Make sure I got that right. That seems too big. Oh, okay, so I used, yeah. Okay, I see what I did. My ruler was confusing me. It has the little increments before the 1 inch on there. My ruler was confusing me, like I'm blaming it on the ruler, right? Okay, so all I'm gonna do, so you don't have to glue those papers in or anything, you can leave them loose, and I think it adds to the sort of crinkly effect anyway. All right, so, but we're now gonna enclose our whole thing, so if you had wanted to decorate this up more, now would be the time to do it before we get this all glued in. Even before this pocket. Just decide, I guess, before you get started. Okay, so now I just leaned it up against my ruler and I'm just folding that in. And I thought I had my bone folder out here. Where's my bone folder? I don't know. We just make do sometimes. Okay, so that's a nice and sharp. So what I did on this one as well is I put a piece of paper and folded it over the edge, and I don't think no, it was a scrap. It was a scrap of paper, and I just folded it in half and then enclosed this whole edge. Now you don't have to do that, but I just felt like, you know, if things are going to be slipped in here, these edges would wear down too much. So I will go ahead and put a scrap. Okay, this is probably good. It's a little big though. Put a little scrap, tuck it down there. I'm just going to tuck it underneath like that and then fold it over the top. Trying to decide which side I want though. Anyway, we'll fold it in half first. Okay, so I think black. Let's do black. All right, I'm going to ink up these edges a little bit, although this piece doesn't, it's not too bad, is it? And then all I'm going to do is glue this whole thing. Half of it will be tucked underneath the flap, and then half of it will be over the top. Okay, and then that just encloses that whole edge. You don't have to worry about those fragile papers. All right, looks good. Now is sewing time. So this is flapping still, right? But when I sew this down, this will become sewn down and it'll be a nice tuck spot. And then this one is already glued and ready to go. So I'm taking a look at it. It does look a little crooked. Let's see. I might wind up trimming that a little bit. Anyway, I'm gonna take that over to the sewing machine and I'll be back. All right, all stitched up. So there's the stitching lines. I did kind of nick off the corners just to make it a little bit less likely to, you know, fold up at the corners. So I'm just gonna nick those edges, or you could take your corner rounder and do that. So notice here, so this is from the bottom of the bag portion, so I'm just going to trim that off. It's all stitched, all glued, it's all secure, so we're just leveling it off there. So just trim that off. There's another little bit here on the side, so we'll get that as well. All right, looks good. All right, so there's the front and the back, and then on the inside I was rummaging around for something for the cover and I found a couple of very fun things, so that will tuck in there. Found this beautiful, this is a Tim Holtz photo, whatever he calls them, I'm not sure. Snapshots, so lots of fun pictures in there. And it was the perfect size for in there. I think that turned out really cute. All right, and then I did pick something out for the cover, so I found this floral image and some plain paper to match, so that's going to get glued on there. This particular book, what I think I'm going to do is, instead of the Sari Silk wrap, I started thinking, oh, how am I going to find that perfect color? So instead of the Sorry Silk wrap, I am going to put an eyelet in the back right here. Take out my ephemera. Put an eyelet right here and then wrap probably some baker's twine around there. Or twine of some kind. Or a ribbon, depending on what I can find. Okay, so once again, Fabri-Tac is really working well with this waxy paper bag. Okay, so that's all in. And then the other thing I did, so if you do put cardstock in here, you could score it a little bit too, or I'm just gonna run this ruler just to make it bend a little bit better. Just roll it with your hands or whatever. So it will stay eventually as soon as I get that paper fixed, rounded a little bit. So the next thing I did was put fabric here on the spine, and once again I sort of a measurer, so I just marked the middle, the center, and then you can put the eyelets right in or do your stitching of your signatures right in. So we are almost done with this cover. Just eyeballing that. This is canvas, so it's pretty easy to put the glue on without the glue showing through, but might need to watch that. Just keep your glue a nice thin layer, and if you missed any spots, just lift it up a little. All right. Okay. So that's our basic cover. So what I did was I made a template. My signatures on the previous one, I don't have any ready for this one, but my signatures on the previous one worked out, so they were probably 3/8 of an inch apart. So I just divided it up, put the lines 3/8 of an inch apart, and then just made 3 holes, and I clipped this onto my book, made sure the center was, even. I clipped this onto my book and literally just punched my holes right in the book, and then just put eyelets in. So, and then, like I said, I think I might put an eyelet here and do a wrap. But what I'm going to do is finish up those little items, and then I will be back to show you the finished product. Okay, so here we are, the finished, well, it's not quite finished. I want to decorate the inside a little bit, but I did put the signatures in already, so they are in with some pink thread, and I did use baker's twine, and I decided on the black and white. I thought that was really cute on there. The pink was not quite the right pink because this is a pretty strong coral, so I did. Now this twine is wrapped on itself, so it stays just fine, but just for decoration I put a bulldog clip on there, and it does have a couple little charms hanging off there. So, and then I just clipped it right where that twist is. But like I said, it'll stay just fine without it, but I was in the mood for, I need a charm somewhere, so did that. So it is the same, pretty much just, miscellaneous junk journal type pages. Kept this pocket the same, kept this little tuck spot the same, and I guess that's about it. Just wanted to show you the finished product. Well, I'm excited. I think they're super cute. These will be in our shop eventually, maybe in a few days. I just want to finish decorating them up just a little bit more. So there you have it. Cute little journal made out of a wax bag. I don't have another one to show you, but it's my donut bags. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.